Our greetings to you. It is Monday morning, the 16th of June, the day after Father's Day, and I'm here in our worship center. I'm Randy Jessen, and have the privilege of sharing time with you over this summer. I'm delighted that you all are a part of the group, and so I want to begin some conversations that maybe might connect together our thoughts about culture, worldview, some of our readings, and some of our case study assignments that will be coming up. So yesterday, the sanctuary was filled with people and folks celebrating Father's Day and sharing a time of worship together. We're thinking together as a congregation about the book of Romans. We're doing a series on the book of Romans, and it is a remarkable gift to be able to think together about the core theological New Testament issues that really gives structure and function to the life of our church. Those New Testament issues have a really strong cross-cultural perspective. We always put them in the context of the day, of the original readers and the original authors, but we also bring them into today's world, and sometimes that creates quite a challenge. Cross-cultural ministry is always a bit of a challenge. It's a different kind of mission and ministry that we're involved in. So when we watch the videos early in the semester that Steve did for us about worldview and culture, we discovered a number of things about the way different cultures think and act and operate, because every action, every belief system also has a behavior that is oriented to it. And so when we think about culture, especially a cross-cultural dynamic, we recognize one key ingredient that I think is essential for all of us to talk about and to ponder a bit, and that is the reality that culture is a gift that comes to every single one of us. We all live within the context of a particular culture, but that culture is most often invisible to us. We do not see it. We don't see it clearly because it is so much a part of our daily life that it simply is not present to us. It's the water that we swim in, and so we don't even sense that it is surrounding us every single day. Like the air that we breathe, we don't even think about it, that air actually gives us life. Culture gives us life. It strengthens our mind and our thinking. It gives us a different viewpoint on the way that we look at the world and the way we see other people. And it also causes us to have particular morals and values and behaviors. Now, if culture is invisible to us most of the time, then our task from a ministry point of view is to be hyper-aware and sensitive to the things that were once invisible to us. That's the case of grace in our lives, isn't it? So when we came to faith knowing that there was a gift of grace that was out there that we had not perhaps yet fully recognized, but when we did recognize it, it became transforming to our life. Same with culture. If culture is once invisible to us, when we begin to recognize it and be aware of it, it begins to change and transform us, especially when we bump into other cultures, because that's the way we discover our own cultural experience. We bump into other cultures. And when we bump into those other cultures, we begin to discover some of the dynamics about our own values, our own faith, our own, the water that we swim in. We begin to see it. We begin to recognize it. I remember walking down the street in Romania. We have a 20-year ministry in Romania called Global Hope, where we provide Christian homes and families for abandoned children. I remember the very first time walking down the street in Romania, the western side of the country, in the city of Arad. And I was walking down the street, and I wanted to meet the people, and I wanted to learn about the culture, and I wanted to discover what was going on, but I discovered it was very hard to do. As I walked down the main boulevard in the community, I discovered that no one wanted to talk to me. No one wanted to make eye contact. Nobody wanted to do anything. It was just kind of head down, eyes down, moving forward. And when I would smile or speak or try to engage someone, it became a problem. It was more head down, more eyes down, more moving forward, because people, after 40 years of communism, had learned not to trust anyone. especially a Westerner, especially someone who was trying to engage them. I met some of those same people in their homes, in the privacy of their own home, and I discovered the warmest and most welcoming people that you could imagine. So those same folks who were head down and eyes down on the street were open and honest and engaging and filled with faith and life when we were in the privacy of their own homes, where the dynamic of trust had a different component. So trust is a key ingredient of any cultural dynamic. Who do we trust? Who are the people who are within our circle of relationship? Who are the people who are inside? Who are the people who are outside? And how do we make determinations about who those people really are? I remember in Seoul, Korea, I was in Korea with a group of Doctor of Ministry students through the Beeson program. And on my first trip there, I remember going to the demilitarized zone, that area between North and South Korea that is today one of the most heavily armed, most military-oriented places in the entire world, even places where dramatic war is immediately active today. There is no place in the world that is so militarily armed as the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea. And I remember sensing the oppression of the people. And I remember sensing the pain and the anguish. And I wondered what it was like to be able to live with that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, year after year. And I began to learn one of the key dynamics to South Korean Christian culture, and that was the spirit of prayer. They began to pray for one another, and they prayed especially for their North Korean brothers and sisters, some of them who literally were brothers and sisters, and others who were just people of ethnic connection. But they loved them, and they wanted the best for them, and they began to pray for them. And so the value of prayer within the Korean Christian community became so critically important for me. Some of you, members of this class, know and understand that firsthand. That's a part of your life. Now, mentored ministry in the summer session calls us into some unique kind of experiences, because some of you are in settings where the ministry is sort of slowing down for the summer, and others of you are in settings where ministry is cranking up, like you're in camps or things like that, where summer is the prime time. But I pray that whatever your situation, that you will be looking for places where your own personal culture has been invisible to you, and where you might discover the culture of your own history by bumping into someone else's cultural dynamics, someone else's values, someone else's experience, someone else's journey. And I hope that the readings that we share together during this summer session will be helpful for you as well. Spirituality of the Road by Donald Bosch. What a wonderful little tool. What a great gift to be able to just sit down and read and digest that. Maybe the most helpful thing that we will read, and from my perspective, is the book called When Helping Hurts. You have it on your shelf. Maybe you've already started reading it, but When Helping Hurts gives us an opportunity to think about our own behavior, our own actions, and our own cultural dynamics that we put into play when it comes to mission and ministry. And we can apply the same ingredients that are here, applied to kind of third world nations. We can apply the same things to our context, wherever that might be. I pray that you will do that. Now, we're going to come up on our case study time here very shortly. And you see the case study formula there in your syllabus. And you have all been working through the case study process as you've been through the other sequences of mentored ministry. For me, the case study conversation is really the most critical part of what we're going to do. Our reading is going to inform our case studies. Our background is going to inform it, our personality, our leadership style, all the dynamics that we want to look at all the time and we want to be very aware of, because in ministry, relationships are so central that we want to be aware of everything about our ingredient, what we add to to the situation so that mission and ministry can flourish and can be enhanced by what we bring. We don't want to be a detriment to the conversation, but we'll find situations where we are, in fact, a detriment because we have not yet fully seen who we are or what dynamic we bring, or we haven't been able yet to modify our ability to be in relationship with that other person so that the gospel can be communicated to them. And that's the core ingredient, isn't it? How do we communicate the gospel of Jesus Christ in a cross-cultural situation? How do we understand that? So I pray blessing upon you today. Ask that you would continue to engage in your reading, continue to engage in your reflection. I'll post some other ingredients for us to have conversation about this week, but prepare now for your case study conversations and for those ingredients that you're going to bring to the table. I'm excited about spending the summer together. God bless you all. I hope that your worship day yesterday was really remarkable, and I pray that the summer lived out together will be fruitful and faithful for the kingdom of God that has come here on earth, that we might know it and live in it and be servants unto it. May God bless you and keep you. Take care. See you real soon. God bless. Bye-bye.